Welcome. We are here to play Hearts of Camelot, and I'm subtitling this Once and Forever. We're going to be doing a little series of about six um, sessions. We'll see how far we get, and if anybody thinks that we should extend and complete like arcs more, that'll be fine. Right now we're having three players, and then next week we'll be joined by the fourth player, but then someone will be out, so it'll be interesting to see when we finally get everybody all together on the table. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I'm Madeline Colley, Mads for short, she, they pronouns, and I've played Hearts of Camelot once before, had a lot of fun with it, and just want to share games that I enjoy with other people. It's great. I do like the Arthurian legend a little bit, but this is again a legend, so we're not aiming for any kind of historical accuracy or anything like that. But we'll get more into that on the cats section of our introductions. And yeah, this is a hack by David R. For Hearts of Wulin in the Arthurian setting. And yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying the mechanics of it as well, which is kind of rare for me, where I enjoy like not only the setting, but I also like, find the structure and the mechanics to be palatable even just after like one playthrough. So again, glad to share it, and we're going to be welcoming people here. So let me popcorn it over to Rod.
Hi, I'm Rod, he, him, and I already forgot all the things I'm supposed to say. Uh, yeah, I'm not super familiar with the the Arthurian legends, other than what's permeated through popular culture. But I'm looking forward to this setting and seeing what we come up with.
Have you played Hearts of Camelot before?
I played a one shot,
Okay.
maybe a year or two ago,
Okay.
maybe more. Yeah, so
Well,
that's my extent of playing with it.
yeah, we'll see what you remember, and even not, I mean, like I think David R has kind of messed around with this a bit. So, I mean, like it might be looking a little different from what you remember. So, we'll see. Okay? If you want to choose another player to popcorn it over to.
Sure, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris, he, him. What else am I supposed to talk about?
Any experience with Hearts of Camelot?
Hearts of Camelot? No. I am, however, a huge Arthuriana nerd, and I have great news for those of you with no experience. Arthuriana is about making up a guy who you love, and he can do anything. He can have superpowers, he could be a werewolf. Just fucking go nuts. Historical accuracy. I've never played Hearts of Camelot, but I've played a good bit of Hearts of Wulin.
Okay, cool. That's definitely more up than I am. So, all right, cool. All right. Last but not least, David MK.
Hi, longtime fan of Arthurian legends. I played Hearts of Camelot once a while ago, and I can't even remember how the mechanics work, so this is going to be just like playing it for the first time. And I am working on an Arthurian game too, but this is not about me. This is about Hearts of Camelot, which I'm really looking forward to playing. And yeah, I'm super stoked about maybe playing a kid whose mom is a giantess. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Excellent. Okay, great. All right. So before we get into like, fully into character creation, let's go over cats, which is concept, aim, tone, and subject matter. Pretty bare bones here. I've added a couple of things to this list. So, concept, a game of Arthurian romance telling tales of battle and heartbreak, with players in the roles of champions, errants, lieges, paragons, sorcerers, and villains. My media touchstones are personally the movie Excalibur, as well as the series with Sam Neill as the titular Merlin. Aim to play to see what happens. Our PCs will be in the world of Arthurian legend, but their slice of life may be far from Camelot. Just so you know. Tone, exciting and melodramatic. We'll see. There's going to be ample misfortune as a mechanic in this game, so I mean, like, you know, we'll see how this goes. Subject matter: action and non-explicit violence, romance and non-explicit sex, a legendary medieval setting containing feudalism, miracles, and magic. Your heroes can be any race, class, gender, sexuality, and religion. I'm also going to add of any neurodiversity as well. This is legend, not history, so historical accuracy does not apply. And we do have safety tools that are available for the table to use, such as open door, which is if for any reason, I mean, like, you know, real life gets in the way or something happens, you know, please feel free and say, I need to open door, and then just let us know whether it's for the scene or for the full session or from the game, because sometimes, like, you know, you play a thing and then it's really not your bag, and that's perfectly fine. We will not ask you why you need to open door. There's also the X card. So if something comes up that is objectionable in an unfun way, please make an X with your arms in the video, say X in the chat, or say X card out loud, so this way everybody knows to stop, pause, find out what needs to be taken out, X carded, and then we will take it out and then move on. We will not ask why that particular thing needs to be X carded. And then finally, lines and veils. We have a safety tab on our character keeper, and this covers the lines, which is things that won't be crossed, will not be part of the game. And so our players will go through and then pick out their lines. And then veils are things that will possibly come up, might be present, might be mentioned, but won't be described in any detail. We'll fade to black on these things. All right. So if not already, please make sure that you fill in your lines and veils. This is a living document, so if anything changes, just ask that you do not downgrade anybody's lines or veils to like an ask first or an interest. I mean, obviously, like, you know, respect your fellow players, but I will say if something gets added to lines and veils, please let the table know, so this way we can make sure that we cover that, and then we all understand what's we're all on the same page. Okay. And with that, we're going to pause the recording. And then we're going to go through character creation, picking out the playbooks for the characters, for the players at hand right now. Our other player will be coming in next week, and we'll be picking out their playbook after everybody else is chosen. And then we will introduce them when we come back. Okay? Okay, we are back. We're going to go ahead and do an initial introduction to our characters that are here at this point, and then we will go back round after we do the first pass, and then start talking about how they are bonded, entangled with each other, as well as the world that they live in. Start talking about that as well, like where they live and what they are doing, and also giving them an opportunity to name NPCs or places that are very significant to them. Okay, so let's start from the left-hand side of the character keeper with the champion.
Hello, my name is David, he, him pronouns, and I'm going to be playing the champion, Ydelles. And Ydelles is social class is prey, some kind of druidic, clerical type. We'll figure it out. I think that's where his father's family is from, and I think he was supposed to be following in that line of work. But he has instead chosen the path of his mother, which she's a giant. And let's see, I have the epic move of love, and champion move I chose is Son of the Fair Giantess. And I have to choose a love for my bond. And I think that's going to come up during our discussion. Some kind of conflicting female figure. I don't know if it's going to be a real woman or an ideal woman or nature spirit or what. We'll see.
Fantastic. All right. Next is the errant.
Yes, I'm playing Sir Elio Reykholt. He, him. I am of the fight class at the moment. My moves are quest, the epic move, where I can declare a quest and that has certain effects. My move I chose is I can't pronounce that. I think it's Gruhir, interpreter of languages, where I understand birds and beasts. And I think my backstory is that I encountered a unicorn in my youth, and that was a transformative meeting, like, kind of like touching the divine. And I am this, I don't want to say desperately, but I'm fervently seeking to see the unicorn again or have that experience again. And as an errant, I think I've put to my liege or whoever that I am out there looking for any rumors of the miraculous or anything of that sort so that I can investigate. That's it. Oh, I think you're muted, Matt.
I find it interesting that the champion and errant already are like kind of like, saying the one thing and then like, doing the opposite, and it's beautiful. Can't wait. All right, wonderful. Let's go on to our sorcerer.
All right. Sir Granit of Geddrick is a sorcerer. Though if you ask him, he's just a friend to the gnomes. Even though no, we're not gonna. It's legend. I can have a little Paracelsian alchemy in there for flavor, for spice. I've taken the move Lady of the Lake. You are mystically bonded with an element. Select a single classical element. I have chosen earth, or I guess more accurately, stone. I am immune to harm caused by this element. In addition, I can roll plus agile to magically enter this element's substance and then emerge from the same kind of substance in another location that is known to me.
Yep. I have I played this playbook and I love this playbook. Never mind. So yeah, no, I get it. That's totally cool. Okay. Now, with this, again, we've established that this is again legend, fantasy. This is not having anything
I'm
to
inventing
do.
a guy, and that guy can do whatever I want. Shut up.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, it's not having to do with anything. Sticking with the Arthurian legend so strictly that, certain things can't happen. But again, these are the rules that we're going to establish or help to establish a structure around this world, like what you guys consider of monsters and unnatural beasts and natural beasts and magic and all this, and miracles even. So, I mean, there's going to be some mystical bent to this as well, I'm sure. And if not, then, well, obviously the tone has changed, whatever. So it's fine. All right, great. Okay, so now, knowing these very basic things about our particular characters, I gotta learn how to do that, like placing it in the background. Let's go back to our champion, Ydelles. Or actually, like, let's take it to the table first.
Okay.
Sorry, to establish everything. So, where are you all located? Are you in a village? Are you in a town? Are you someplace near water, or are you in the mountains? Let's kind of establish um, some kind of geographic location first. And then we can have fun with the fantasy name generator and figure out the name of your town.
Yeah. Do you mean that where we primarily live, or where we
Yes.
just currently happen to be?
I mean, like For the Queen, right? Is like kind of like on the like can bring them into a journey and such like that. I think this
Mm-hmm.
in this setting we're saying that you guys are either stationed, or this is your origin, like your home. Like you are here. This is where you were born and come from, or around the area.
Well, we
Or
all serve the same court, not at least nominally, right?
yes, because yeah, the errant can't be an errant unless they kind of bowed away from that, I would imagine.
Well, Aaron, I think, just wants to be on a quest. So far from their home court. They don't necessarily need to be
Okay.
like disavowed.
Ooh, okay. So, maybe you are the wandering nomad per se, Sir Elio. But again, like let's just establish this particular environs right now. Do we want to say this is a bustling town? Do we want to say this is a busy village? We can establish if there's a liege and a keep nearby a little bit later. But I mean, for right now, where are you?
I'm going to throw out an idea that we're at a crossroads,
Okay.
a major trade point. Whether or not that's our home or a way station for us, that's a feature of where we are right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Is anybody from around here? Let me ask you that too.
I'd love to be from around here. And if I'm from around here is a fairly large quarry.
And what do they bring out of this quarry? Stone?
Yep.
Building stone?
Yes, foundation stones.
Absolutely.
Some say the very stone that built Stonehenge. This is at best dubious as a claim.
Hey, marketing is great everywhere, so it's all cool. All right. Well, with Sir Granit being from here, and possibly Sir Elio from away, from distant parts, what do you think, Ydelles?
I think that my father's family is from a forest that may be some miles away. Like I think the forest at one time was much larger, but over time with forestry and human civilization encroaching on that, yeah, I think they're still like a people that live in the woods and they move around with the seasons. But I think like a long time ago, maybe my mother's people maybe roamed these parts. So I think like there's probably some sort of contradictory legend about how Stonehenge was basically just pulled out of the ground by my mother's people as like chairs or something to sit on.
That doesn't make any sense. I love it.
This brings into question about the size of your mother's people too, and how, well,
it obvious, yeah, it depends who you ask, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how tall
over
is
the
Stonehenge?
generations. Probably.
Would you
Probably
say
the giants get bigger and bigger every generation.
Ah, okay. Yeah, but okay. This brings into question evolution. Um,
What is that?
right. Well, the reason I
Exactly.
asked that, the reason I asked that is, it's like, are we saying that
I mean, there's probably.
your mother was the runt
So Stonehenge
of
is
her
about
group?
13 feet high.
Well,
Or did they shrink? Yeah.
Shapeshifting.
Yeah. I mean, we can
Who knows?
establish
Like
this stuff.
maybe giant.
Actually, they're
Yeah.
only giant from far away. If you get
Yeah.
as you get closer, they get smaller.
It's.
Oh no, I'm starting to
They
get
use the
like
magic of
visions from Spinal Tap now.
perspective.
Stop it. Oh god. All right. This is great.
Yes. What was that? 6 inches or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that if you were to like really look into it, like this would be like you'd see that they were very rugged, like Scandinavian or steppes type people.
Okay.
Who wore a lot of clothing and were very hardy. But I think in terms of the mythology of the story here, like, yeah, they were like at least 9, sometimes 12 feet tall. Ydelles is about 7 feet 2 inches.
Ydelles is?
Wow.
Yeah.
And built like your image here, I imagine.
Yep.
So huge.
He's a bigger Jason Momoa.
Huge guy.
Mm-hmm. And actually, in comparison to other folks, it's like he doesn't end up looking all that big after all. When you look at Jason Momoa next to people, but he's still a big man. So I'm like,
what if Shaq was cut?
Oof. I mean, you can't tell from the clothing. Oh, that would be the other thing I wanted to establish. What season are we in? Are we in winter? I'm perfectly fine if we are. That's fine.
Is there a passage of time in this game?
Yes, there can be.
Okay. Yeah, I like the winter.
Okay. I mean, we could start off in the winter, and then, like, depending on if people travel and such, we can totally make it, change the seasons and such. So that's fine. Okay. So we're saying that your mother's people were, like, used to wander around here, but then, your father was from around here and then met her, maybe in this like maybe seasonal journey, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably like a solstice, like a solstice or some sort of like, at least how it's been told to me, like they met during a ritual. I'm like, my brain is totally going back to my childhood with Lady Hawk.
Yes, Lady Hawk. Oh my god.
Where with the synthesizer music, where the two of them could actually meet on similar perspective sizes and exchange their desires under the full moon.
I love that. Okay. Very cool. What are we calling this place? This major trade point at the crossroads?
Fantasy generator. Places and locations.
Windermere. How's Windermere?
I love it.
I love Windermere.
Love it.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and name this town Windermere. All right. So, because it's a trades point and everything, I think, yes, all kinds all come here for festivals, for trade, and rumors and news. You can easily create people that you know from this place that have settled here, but then also passerbys, those that will come and those that will go. So, if you want to wait on creating your love from somebody, you can, but yeah, like, start thinking. Um, and then, like, how do you know the other two? And as you can see here, like, David R. created a whole list of stuff. Um, so you have to have a bond with at least one fellow hero and at least one NPC. And I'm going to say that should be outside of your designated love, I would say. So.
Mm-hmm. Could we? I want to hear more from Sir Elio and Sir Granit so I can get a better sense of their characters.
Perfect. Okay.
Tell me more.
Yeah, let's go ahead. So, Sir Elio, yeah, what is your current... I mean, it doesn't have to be the quest. It doesn't have to be your epic move. But what is the reason that you're passing through here?
So I do like the idea of like Chris mentioned that we served kind of the same court. And I think I do have the general mission of going out and finding investigating rumors of the divine, the miraculous, whether it's true or a con. And I guess because it's a trade point, there's I get a lot of information here, so I always come back to get more information before I set out again.
I'm currently watching Ancient Detective with Kevin and a couple of other people, and one of the things that they have is a martial arts historian. I feel like you're a knight in search of knowledge. Maybe you have a book or something like that that you're writing things down in.
God,
Even
that
as you're
rules.
even if you have, like, your initial drive is to find this unicorn, this mystical symbol, but also to gather information for your liege, whose name is...
Queen, I think, if that's okay.
You want to do a queen, or you could do a lady, a duchess. Let's see, what choices do we have? We have Duke or Duchess, Prince or Princess, Bishop, Mayor, or Warlord. I don't know about Warlord, and we're not really in the weeds yet for that, unless we totally want to make this about a battle simulation, which I don't particularly like it. But yeah, who do you think your liege is?
Do we want to? Was Princess was one of the options?
Duke
Yes,
or... yeah. Mm-hmm.
a princess.
Sure. What is she like? Is she a young princess? Or is she in waiting for someone to pass on?
Are you asking me, or is this open to anyone?
Open to anybody. Yep.
What if she's very devout? And if this doesn't resonate with anyone, just let me know.
What is she devout about?
Um,
Oh, yeah, that's an important question. Does our setting contain the Christian God?
can we make it like the Arthurian, where there's a mix of,
I mean, yeah, I mean, you've got
fairy and
right.
I
I
mean,
mean,
we've already
human?
got a child of giants and a dude who talks to gnomes, which are like much later medieval idea of magical spirits.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
I'm
my dad's basically a pagan druid. So yeah.
It's kind of flexing.
yeah. I think you can flex it all. I mean, like, you know, you can
Yeah.
say it is of a particular spirit or god. Um, I feel like in Arthurian lore and legend, I feel like it's like druidic spirits of the wild alongside the Christian God and monotheistic
Yeah, it's a
thoughts.
lot of a lot of it's a lot of reappropriation. It's a lot of people insisting that pagan shit is actually about Jesus. And it's a lot of just like weird stuff that happens and goes utterly unremarked upon because that's just how the world is. That's how God made the world, to have fairies in it.
Sure.
Ask me about the Catholic Church's official position on werewolves. Not now, but I do know that. It's very funny.
Fantastic.
Well,
So
Anyway,
what are you thinking, Rod?
yeah.
Do you have a stance
Yeah.
for the princess?
oh, yeah, I think she's devoted to to a monotheistic God, or um, what we would in Christianity call God.
Okay.
And I think she wears, instead of like
Cool.
instead of like a crown or whatever, she wears like a something in wood fashioned like a snake, to remind her that the devil is always whispering temptations, and she must always be on guard.
God, that is such an Arthur vibe.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, no, you've perfectly nailed the like thing that does not appear anywhere in Christianity, given a like plausible enough Christian explanation. Like for instance, a crown that is a snake to remind you that sin is always present.
Mhm.
Okay. Coronet sounds right. I mean, like a crown, I always think of
Yeah.
like the full blown
Right.
with jewels and like, like on your head.
That's
Could even
right.
include some Princess Bride in
What
here.
is
I
the
should include
word?
that as a doodad because that's fantastical and weird shit. So
Is it a dais or a diadem? That's the word I'm thinking
diadem,
of.
yeah, like that too. I used that word earlier. Okay, so a little bit of princess.
One you wear when you step on.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it sounds to me like Sir Elio is an academic type, right?
I don't think he would describe himself as that. I mean, not knowledge in insofar as it's helpful, a tool, but not certainly not like a scholar seeking knowledge for its
Okay.
own sake, or yeah.
Okay. Would it make sense for, I don't know how old your character is, for our characters to have gone through some sort of shared like training or some other like experience to maybe regard ourselves as like brotherly in some way,
Oh, I love
and
that.
almost like in a military band of brothers or something like that.
Oh, I love that. Like, something to bond you all together because you went
I
through
don't know
the
if
same
there's a
class.
knight's boot camp or something.
Right, right, right. Like you come all from the same graduating class. I
Or
don't
same
know.
ordeal or something.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I got it. If you like this idea for all of you, like under this liege, the princess who's very devout and like sin is always prevalent. I think under her there is a, what do they call them? Not a captain. Man at arms of sorts. Man at arms, a weapons
Sounds
master.
vaguely correct. Quartermaster.
Okay. Well, this person could be a woman, could be non-binary, could be whatever. But I think this person trained you all in the hopes to create small teams or small what is it? Not garrisons. I love all these military terms that I have no idea about. But anyway, small groups to be able to defend the area or go scouting, depending on what is needed by their liege. And this quartermaster has trained you all to work together, as well as individual, like, you know, pulling on your individual strengths. You know, you all can't do the same thing. However, you were trained in the same style.
We're
So you
part of an
understand.
elite group.
Yeah, part of an elite group.
We're a fucking strike team. Great work. I guess we're a patrol.
Yeah. Called upon to do
Well,
what?
we could be like a company or a platoon or something.
Well, those are both
I
sorry.
like company because it has, yeah, company has a kind of like familial,
Yeah,
feeling to it.
yes.
Isn't a
And-
company usually like 30 to 50 people?
I mean, you don't know how
We
big.
can do whatever we want.
It's
It's our military.
Right, sorry, I forgot. This is an archaic pseudo-French use of the word company.
Mm-hmm. Compagnie. No.
right.
We're not that. We're not.
But
We're okay.
and it might just be incorrect because the person writing this story is dictating oral tradition.
I mean, and the details can be gotten wrong in the telling.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
The precise meanings of words are far less important than their function as signifiers.
So let's just say the three of you definitely were trained under the same quartermaster, along with, like others of similar but also specialized skills, per se.
So, do we have like an identifying tattoo or some other insignia or something indicating that we're from the same group?
Now I feel like we're playing Starship Troopers.
I mean, we would have color, like
No,
we would have a
have to.
banner or colors. If we
I mean,
were
you can have a
knights.
banner if you
Yep.
want, banner or colors that you specifically wear in the name of your liege. So,
Cool.
I'd be pleased to know what your heraldry looks like, if you have any.
Yes.
You know, don't get complicated.
Pick
okay.
an animal.
Squirrel.
What was that, squirrel?
Let's fucking do it.
Pointy teeth.
Saber-toothed squirrel. It's fucking Scrat from Ice Age. We all fight under the banner of the saber-toothed squirrel.
Look now, in Holy Grail, put that down as a thing too. In Holy Grail, they had the freaking rabbit. Okay. So.
That's right.
I remember that being vaguely based on like actual manuscripts of the time, but I can't.
Don't make me include the monster.
Holy hand grenade.
No, finding yourselves in the cave and seeing that.
I'm pretty like you. Here's the thing: you totally could. That
I
is
know.
700% an adventure that. Like,
absolutely, you're on a
Galahad
quest,
would
man.
go on.
Absolutely.
Everyone else would die, but Galahad would kneel before the Lord, and the rabbit would jump over him.
Or make friends. Make friends. Okay, so part of this company, all trained under the same quartermaster. I will give her a name. Or, you know what? I'm going to give them a name. Sorry. Quartermaster Terrace. I'll spell that in the chat, and then you guys can decide amongst yourselves what Terrace means to each of you on your bonds. You know, if you want. I mean, it doesn't have to be limited to 4, but I mean, like, you know, we're going to start with 4.
4 is a lot.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, because one of them has to be, one of your bonds has to be a fellow hero, and the other one has to be a named NPC. But I think in that case, it shouldn't be the same NPC. So, but I mean, I do want you to put Terrace down as an NPC you all know for that specific reason that they were your quartermaster.
How do you spell? Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay.
Okay, I put down Sir Elio as my confidant.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And Sir Terrace as my teacher. And let's see, I'm trying to. I don't feel like I know Sir Granit of Geddrick well enough yet to decide.
Okay. But instead of Sir Terrace, it would be like
Chris,
quartermaster.
what else do we need to know about your character?
Yeah. So let's find out about well.
Oh, yeah, quartermaster Terrace. That's fine.
And then let's find out about Sir Granit.
I'm thinking. So first of all, what do you want to know? He's a big dude, so he's not giant sized. My stated goal with this character is to build God's perfect idiot, who is of course not a cleric, but instead a sorcerer. I think he is a born sorcerer. I think he either has like some form of gnomish blood or just got very lucky as a child. And now he has dominion over stone if he asks nicely. And
so let's ask the question, and I'll go back to you, Sir Elio, for this particular answer as well. How did each of you two become knighted? And why wasn't Ydelles knighted? So, Sir Grant, or like, you know, whomever has an answer about why they were knighted or why they weren't knighted, that would be great.
Picked up a big rock, crushed an invading army. Well, it was more of a platoon really, but they had breached the castle town and I fought them off single-handedly with a 10-foot long, about 4-ton stone.
Okay. Sir Elio?
I think at some point the someone of prominence was sick and someone who was rumored to be a saint was brought in to heal them. But I knew enough that I could spot that they were, they were just a fraud. And that their cure was actually making the patient worse. And it could be the princess or it could be someone else.
I think it had to have been the princess, otherwise it's like it wouldn't have been that big.
Can it be her brother, the prince?
Sure. Okay. I'm going to say that it's Prince Edmund and Princess Elise. Edmund, of course, is more likely to be on the throne, but Princess Elise would be his trusted advisor once he does reach it. Unless she decides to marry before that happens. Whatever her choice may be by that point. But yes. Is the town called Windermere or the region called Windermere? And if so, since they live in a fancy keep, what do you think the keep is called?
The first thing that popped into my head is Elsevier or Elsevier. No points guessing where that came from.
Ooh, I think I want to change this just slightly. Let's say, and you guys can tell me if this sounds good or not, I'm going to say that it's now known as Elsefire, but it used to be known as Elsefire because the valley that the keep is built on, or maybe the hill that it's built on, whatever, there was like some sort of meteor or something that had crashed here in ancient times, and that's what created the region shaped the way it is. And so people talk still of the legend of the myth of the fire from elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So the ancient myth about the region is that it used to be called Elsefire because a meteor had crashed, creating the shape of the region, and so people still talk about the fire that came from elsewhere. All right. So, we have to each of you. Let's go to the sorcerer or the errant, whoever has ideas of how you are bonded or related in some way to the others, besides being under
We also
Quartermaster
need to
Terrace.
leave room for whoever David ends up being. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll wait and make them whatever they are to me.
Okay. Um,
I mean, I put Ydelles as a comrade. Um,
okay.
I'm not sure how my relation. Chris, is Sir Granit, you're going with the idea that the sorcerer is pretending to be a knight, or are you pretty open about
I
being a
think
sorcerer?
I think he is a full knight.
Okay.
I think he has magic and isn't learned in these things, but not like not so he's not he wouldn't call himself a sorcerer.
I'm gonna
Because
say
he
Terrace was pretty
is
rough on you.
as previously stated, God's perfect idiot.
Yeah, I think Terrace was pretty hard on you because, you tried, but you had like accidental magic and then you were trying to control your limbs and
I just kept sinking into the ground when I got scared.
yeah. Mm, for sure. Um, okay, so let's see.
So, I mean, I would think I would be fascinated with you if you displayed,
Oh,
magical ability,
I do magic freely.
right?
It's not weird to me. You could do it too. You just have to ask nicely in this ancient tongue that no one else speaks.
That's funny. Um, you could say that maybe
Oh, are we picking?
Granite is not an inspiration. You can even change some of these things if you so choose, but I mean just mark what it used to be if you're going to make any changes to what, the headings are. Um, you know, um
Counterpart?
comrade, I mean, I mean there's so many choices and you can just do an other, like, my something or other. My fascination. I don't know. It's
My
good.
my my mystery.
Okay.
ooh. Does this imply that you think like he's lying? Are
No,
you just not convinced by this whole gnome nonsense he's spouting?
I don't think I would have reason to doubt you unless you gave me one. So I think I would I mean, at the least I would think that you believe what you're saying. So I don't think I would think you were pulling a deception.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So let's see. Now, keep in mind that whatever you pick right now for your bonds, you will use two of them to explain why your bonds cause problems for you for the dilemmas portion of your sheet. Explain why your bonds cause problems for you. Describe two dilemmas, each involving a different pair of bonds. Your dilemmas must involve at least one fellow hero and at least one NPC. Okay? So, obviously, enjoy them. You have to start with something. And I'm gonna say that because I noticed that under your sheet, Sir Elio, you've written "My Forbidden Love." What's that about?
Oh yeah, Prince Edmund.
What's that
um,
about?
only because uh oh well, because he's royalty and I'm certainly not. Um, so probably it's not gonna go anywhere.
But where? I mean, why did he single you out?
Well, I think once I saved him from the charlatan,
Mm-hmm.
I nursed him back to health. So it was that kind of situation.
So it was mutual then. I mean, like,
Yeah, it's reciprocated. So it's just forbidden in the sense of our status
yeah.
would not allow this to really grow.
Well, if you gained enough glory
Ooh, maybe.
through perhaps a quest, maybe just spitball in here to find a unicorn.
Hmm.
I mean, the real, the absolute, the to borrow a phrase, the holy grail for this particular quest would be a fanged squirrel.
Oh my gosh.
Finding a heraldric beast is a fantastic omen.
Mm. True. Very true. It wasn't just myth and legend. It was actually real. And here's the proof, and it's like you stuffed the thing. Anyway, oh my god. Sorry about that. I crossed something. Yeah, I crossed something. Sorry about that. Okay. Uh, we'll take that out. Anyway. Okay. So let's see. Ooh. I'm seeing some interesting things here. Let me go back to Ydelles for a second. Your love is the spirit within the meteor?
Oh.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, I kind of see this as like our version of like the Lady in the Lake sort of thing.
Okay.
Oh, I was
This thing
also
that's
going to give myself
maybe
a Lady in the Lake.
Oh, you totally can. I mean, it doesn't
no,
even have
that's
to be the
fine.
same.
Yeah,
It could be the same one,
right.
or it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I just like the idea of this otherworldliness, whether it's an alien or who knows what. But
There's something in there,
but
though.
yeah, the spirit. Yeah, there's something in there. It could be a world destroyer. It could be a god. It could be who knows what.
Could be
Could
a
be an
very
enemy
large gnome.
that
how does
yeah.
how does she or they? How does Aurora manifest? What do they look like?
I think I don't know for sure yet, so I kind of want to leave that open to play. But I feel like if this was like a TV show or movie, that like whenever there was like fire involved, it would be easy to slip into some sort of obscured vision communication with this spirit, this entity. So whether it's a candle flame, of campfire, whatever, like I feel like that would be an easy way to kind of connect with this entity.
I love it. Tell me, do you hear them? Do you see them? How do you feel them or smell them when you talk to them?
I feel like there's a warmth, like a human warmth, companionship warmth, and comfort that plays on, I'm given his picture and whatnot. I think he is from a rougher, colder region, so to have this presence, is probably very easy to accept. And I probably feel that they have a like share a feeling of passion that it's not sexual per se, but it's like a longing or desire for change in the world.
Lovely.
I have that dumb Karate Kid song, "You're My Inspiration," going in my head right now.
Build your playlist. um,
God, I might by the end of this game, if we keep going like this will be the strangest playlist.
Absolutely. Hey, I don't have like all Victorian type songs in my playlist of the between. So anyway, you say that you believe you have a connection to. Do you know this entity as well, Granit? Like as Aurora?
No, this sounds to me like a salamander, and I am connected to the gnomes,
Mm.
which means I need another name, unfortunately.
Okay.
Just real quick crash course. The thing I am referencing is the works of Paracelsus, who is I was totally wrong, from the 1560s, like the very late 16th century. So around Martin Luther's time. And according to him, there are spirits which like intrinsically give all matter its properties. So there are gnomes, which are the spirits which govern solids and solidity, nymphs, which are the water spirits, sylphs, which are air spirits, and salamanders, which govern flame. And
This
there's
is
a whole
very,
bunch of stuff that goes into that. I won't get into it, but
very
that's the
alchemical.
crash course.
Yeah, very alchemical for sure. I always like
Also,
that stuff.
fun fact, they do believe in the Christian God because they are rational beings, and they will steal your immortal soul because they haven't got one.
Fun. Hmm. Oh, that may come back to bite your ass later. We'll see. Okay, so you're tied in with the gnomes. Do you believe you are of their people? Kind of um, oh, how do we call them? Oh goodness.
Not sure I just didn't hear you. Can you say that again louder?
Yeah. I'm contemplating like how's your connection to the gnomes? Are you like one parent or one distant relative is of the gnomic people, or are we talking
I think
you are you have belief in their you're made friends with
I
one of
think
them or
okay,
several
I
of
think
them?
the way I want to play this is
Mm-hmm.
that sorry. I think the way I want to play this is that I was like born knowing to as like near as I can tell. I was born knowing the tongue of the gnomes, so I can speak to them and like make friends. And I have made friends with one in particular, but also just sort of gnome kind generally. And that is how my magic operates.
Okay. What's the name of your friend?
I don't know. I've been scrolling through the Earth name generator for a hot minute here.
Do you hold to the tradition that they have like they have like long names or silly names or just a shit ton of apt names? Like it's something with some
Yeah,
like noun plus adjective, blah, blah, whatever. Like a particular naming convention.
I'm literally just looking for Earth elemental names. I like Quarus.
Okay.
Quarus is a fun name.
Okay. Of course it is. Is Quarus around here? Like, is he like is his people like freely?
Anywhere anything is solid, there are gnomes.
Okay. I mean, but do they walk among humans and such, like in this busy town, this busy village and
Uh,
such?
no, they're invisible.
Okay.
Or at the very least they live in the walls, you know? Like they're part of something other than the world which we inhabit.
Got it. Okay. All right. So you can, yeah, friend or confidant or.
Oh, I was gonna say benefactor.
Oh, okay.
Helps me out.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and put him in the slot there. So let me see. Granite, Moonlit Unicorn, yep. Quartermaster. Okay, Sorcerer. Court, yep. Keep putting in some fun stuff in here, Ydelles.
I want an unrequited love. Technically, oh no, Terrace doesn't count. So I do need.
I mean, you can change.
more.
You can change like the relationship. I mean, we know them as a whole. We know Quartermaster Terrace as the person who trained you all, this company of yours. But I mean, if you have a different relationship with them, I mean, I'm perfectly happy to see that through. And then some of these, I mean, like, you know, if you want to enter in some more bonds and stuff, you know, we can play those out. If you want to call attention to those, that's perfectly fine. Because what we need to do now, if everybody's got like a satisfactory amount of bonds, like at least one with a fellow hero, one with a named NPC, and then like maybe two more. But I mean, as long as you have those filled in, I mean, it's enough to go around with, especially because we're not going to see David's character until next time. Let's work on what you want to do for dilemmas involving two of these people. So one dilemma has to involve your fellow hero, and the other dilemma has to involve at least one NPC. Okay? You can rewrite your dilemmas at the beginning and end of every session and when you level up. Okay? So this game, like while you guys are thinking about it, this game runs kind of fairly straightforward. You'll play out a story, or you'll interact with each other and with your world, and you will be instructed to roll in certain points where things will change or need to change. And depending on the total result, there's going to be one of three consequences. Rolling a 2d6. 6 or lower is a failure. You will receive what's known as misfortune. And when you fail a roll, you gain XP. So keep that in mind as well. This is like a fail forward type of game, which is kind of cool. If you have a 7 to 9 mixed outcome, you do what you wanted, but you still receive misfortune. So that takes the place of complication. And when misfortunes pile up, oh shit, it's hilarious. 10 or higher, an unqualified success, you do what you wanted with no complications or misfortune. Okay? If, however, you roll 2 1s, if you roll 2 snake eyes, the outcome is always considered a failure, regardless of whatever modifier you add to it. And if it's 2 6s, you automatically get a crit, unqualified success. Okay? Immediately after rolling the dice and learning the total result, you can also, to redo the roll, you can also mark a fulfilled destiny box on your track. And what fulfilled destiny does is, give me a second. It adds to your you would mark a box of destiny to do one of the following, essentially. You can either redo a roll, you can increase your level by 1, but you don't get the benefits necessarily of increasing your like level. There's benefits to leveling up the correct way, and then I guess to increase your level, you just at least, I guess, get the advantage of having a higher level. You can also pick an option from the list of level up options. But again, it's choice. You can't do both. You can't increase your level and then pick a level up option. You can prevent a misfortune from occurring. And again, redo a roll or unmark a harmed virtue. So when you get harm then you will be marking virtues that will lower your modifier or cause negatives. So, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. And then some of the moves that are associated with the particular stats, the particular modifiers, are next to the particular modifier and like have the hover function. So this way you can see what you can do using that particular move, that particular skill. So, yeah, that's all the basic stuff I really want to cover in terms of like, how things go about. And again, I don't want to ask you to roll unless something needs to happen to change what's going on. My theory is to just let you play it out, and if you want to run with the miss, perfect. You get XP, and then you get to see how much misfortune you have. It's great. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah. So at this point, I want to take another break. Let's take a 5-minute break at this point since I missed the top of the hour. And we'll come back at the 17 mark and then start looking at if you want to create a dilemma now or if you want to wait until the end of session, once we've kind of established some scenes with your characters in Windermere, in your town. Okay? So we'll come back at the 17 mark. See you then. Okay, so now we will get into play for this place that we find ourselves. I think if this was a show, I think we would find essentially the camera panning over these mountaintops over into a valley where we see a fortified keep, well maintained, as it looks over deeper in the valley below at this community, this town, at a crossroads here in the mountains that is called Windermere. And we zoom in into the town, maybe as hustle and bustle are happening at the tents of the marketplace, with all the people seeing folks come and go at these crossroads. And I'm going to ask, where do we find you here in Windermere or even on the outskirts? What are you doing this fine winter's day?
Well, to start off with, Sir Granit is drinking, feasting, being merry with all of his old friends from his hometown and his parents and everybody at the local meat hall.
Are you back from a journey?
Well, is the court here? Did we establish? Is it the court of Windermere?
The town is Windermere. The
But
court,
is this the castle town or
well,
some such?
the keep of Prince Edmund and Princess Elise is overlooking the town up on the
Oh,
hill.
then I mean it's probably fairly rare that I get out here.
Okay.
Even when I'm not on a quest. Although we'll say that yes, I'm recently back from Oh, you know what I did? A rock fell on me and I was teleported somewhere.
Okay.
Dangerous mountains. I was meant to be clearing a pass and I did, a little too good of a job. I'm fine, but I ended up in Scotland for a while.
Why does everybody end up in Scotland? It's great. Um, but so are you in town, or do you think you're at Elsevier celebrating?
I think I'm in town,
Okay.
indulging in the people's celebration.
Okay. And again, is this your accidental return to town, or is there a festival going on, or is it a market day? Is everybody now
I think it's just market day. Yeah,
okay? All right, cool.
we've got traveling merchants from the south.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that there's things that catch your eye here at the market?
They got gems. Some of them are even real.
Your companion, Chorus.
Yes.
Invisible? You've never seen them. Do you hear them?
Well, I couldn't speak to him if he didn't. I couldn't speak to them if I couldn't hear them. What kind of question is that?
There's other ways of communicating if
And
you don't hear them necessarily.
and I keep telling people they're easy to spot if you know where to look. They're not invisible.
Just wondering if Quaris is with you as you're making your way through the marketplace.
Ah, no, he's busy. He's busy putting granite in the ground somewhere.
Okay. And as as Granit is doing this, what is Ydelles doing? Or where is Ydelles first?
Honestly, the camera pulls away from Sir Granite, and we see over the tops of many heads, we see this large man wandering through market, and he stops by a stall where you can buy rope and similar items, and he's asking, like, what's the strength, what's the capacity of this rope? And he says, I'm looking for very sturdy rope to restrain wild animals, and I'm looking for a good deal. What do you have? And so there's probably like testing ropes and things, and I think what we see kind of like a flashback then of not too long ago of him at court at the keep, in front of the princess and others, and the princess is basically charging him with a quest to bring back the golden stag, and that upon completion of this very important quest, that Ydelles will be knighted at last. And I think what we also see at this sort of low key, not very public sort of meeting is we see Minister Vortimir kind of over her shoulder, like giving like this sort of grin, this sort of like I don't think you're gonna complete this task look, like a doubting look. And so Ydelles just he kneels, he says, I humbly accept this. And he gets up and then cuts back to the market. He says, I think this will do. And he pays the merchant, and then he heads off.
Do you seek anybody to go with you on this quest?
I do. I seek Sir Elio.
Okay. Sir Elio, where are you at this point while everybody's at the marketplace or celebrating in town?
Maybe I'll be bringing some I'd gone hunting earlier in the morning, and I'm bringing back some, what I've caught to the marketplace, um, to sell.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you could. I think Ydelles can find me there as I try to sell my what I've caught to a vendor.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think Ydell, like, is gonna buy some of as well, and he's gonna ask him about the tale of the hunt, and catching up with Elio and things. And then at some point, he's gonna have this look on his face, like, I want to talk to you in private.
Of course, we can head off to quieter area.
Are you
Yeah.
are you still selling your the the results of your hunt, or do you think by that point that you've pretty much sold it, or um,
Oh, yeah, I think so. I mean, I can maybe have one or two left that we can take along with us on whatever quest we make, or that we can eat ourselves.
do you have quarters in town, or would you say that you go to the local tavern to have them roast what remains?
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't. Since hmm. Since I'm going to and fro often, I don't know that I have my own place in town. I think I might have
I could
quarters
suggest
in the keep.
I could suggest something too here.
Me
Sure.
too.
Hmm.
What is your suggestion, Ydelles?
I could suggest, yeah, that Adele has, like, the equivalent of, like, a shack in the woods where he goes to think and kind of remind him about his time growing up with his dad. It's like kind of like a bird blind sort of thing. Very simple, made out of, like, fallen woods. Would that work, or would you prefer to go to the keep?
There's also
Oh,
a
that's fine.
tavern in town where I think that you all are friendly with the local the owner, and she will provide a supplement to your fare. Like, I think she's fairly good friends with you, and Terrace, um, in which case that she will like provide like a back room and, like, a barbecue outside or something like that nearby, where you can do some roasting for dinner and have a talk. Absolutely, at the tavern for sure. Yeah. No. So I mean, like, if you'd like to do that, it's like, um,
Yeah, we can see that it's closer, and if we can be afforded some privacy, we can certainly go
yeah.
there.
Yeah, let's do
I
it.
think, well, yeah, absolutely. So I mean, like, this way, you're somewhat in town and can possibly even run into Sir Granit if that's happening. But I mean, I think
Hmm.
Mistress Sarah is very accommodating for you. She knows you. She knows Terrace and knows that um, this is something that you may do, like on a bi-weekly basis, even. So, um, yeah, she'll offer. Have you needed quarters? Would you like to run the spit in the back and make your own roast? I can supplement with some ale from our stores if you need to.
That would be excellent, Sarah.
You are
I'll,
welcome.
I'll
Yes.
toss a coin to her.
Thank you.
I'm gonna like toss a coin and like says if you want any help with any of the wood or anything, please let us know.
If you're back there and you see that there are some kindling that needs some wood that needs splitting, by all means, help yourself.
I think he just goes out there and with his bare hands just breaks
Captain America.
wood
Sorry.
apart into pieces for the fire.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah. I mean, like, I think as you're just waiting for the roast to just cook and stuff, I think it's like, you're able to get a nice pile going for her and for the tavern. Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
And by that point, she's already placed.
And I think
she's placed the turned mugs on the table, and she's like, provided like a loaf of bread. It's a bit dark, but not burned. Like, it's just the grains of the bread, and she'll also provide like bowls of soup, for you, and yeah.
Wow, this is quite the meal. So I think Dell will confide in Sir Elio about the quest opportunity that he has accepted to be knighted by retrieving this legendary golden heart, this stag from the woods, to the princess.
That will be no easy task.
And that's why I've come to you to ask to come with me and help me on this. You have an admiration towards beasts, and I could use your wisdom, your guidance.
Yes. Yes, you needn't ask. I will be happy to help. And then you can be Sir Ydelles.
What's this I hear about a Sir Ydelles? Are you planning a quest? Without me?
Well, I wasn't sure if you were busy getting stoned.
No, I just recently concluded we're celebrating.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, as it turns out, Balmoral is lovely this time of year, though the going is quite hard.
Were you on a quest of your own?
Well, please pull up a seat.
Oh, please allow me to regale you. It is quite the tale. Do we want anything else out of this scene?
I give another coin to Sarah for the additional food preparation with our recent guest.
Yeah, she brings in a tray with Granit's sloshy mug and like another bowl of soup.
Oh, I have missed this.
I know, you boys. Well, not for me to understand what kind of business you're up to this time, but I'm glad to see you back in one piece.
Does mean good to return to your farm.
How many pieces? Yes.
Well, I remember last winter somebody came back with a bit of a broken arm, and then another person came in with almost half a face, if I recall correctly, or was that just hiding?
No, those were both me.
I think you both, as she's pointing to you, Ydelles, and you, Sir Elio, I think you both need to be watching out for this one, making sure he doesn't fall down into a chasm or something.
I've
Is-
got many friends in a chasm. It's the ice what gets me.
Wrap up warm. Go see the merchant. Vasilio.
Well,
He
I
should
need
have some
one of
new
my great
furs.
treasures. You
Vasilio
seen
has
this?
furs to keep you warm as you go out on your quest.
Haven't you noticed my new cloak? Eddie will pull out a polar bear fur cloak.
I think Sarah's going to sniff, and then she's going to be like, well, Basilio is just going to say it's not as good as the ermine that he could provide you.
I don't think you should. I don't think I trust this Vasilio character.
Be that as it may, you boys take care. Safe travels if I do not see you when you leave.
And may your stores hold true through the winter. Hear, hear.
They're here.
And she'll close the door, leaving you to your celebration or your discussion or what have you.
This quest was accepted by the princess.
The princess offered me the quest, and I accepted.
Not quite the season for a stag hunt, is it?
And like, Ydelles looks at Sir Elio like he's the animal guy. I don't know.
Oh, this is no ordinary stag. This is the golden heart. For whom
Is there
the
like a lore
seasons
roll or something you can make?
Let's see. Let's go ahead and check out the
I mean,
moves.
it would probably be a wisdom roll,
It would be
which
wise,
yeah,
and then
wise.
gain insight.
Yes.
Yes. So this would be when you rely on your memory, observation, or education to understand. Okay, hold on. That may not be it actually. Hold on. Okay. To understand a place, thing, or situation, ask the MC a question and then roll plus wise. Yep. And then on a success, the MC must answer honestly and helpfully. And then until the end of the next session, heroes receive +1 ongoing when acting on this information. Okay, so yes, 2d6 plus your wise, Sir Elio, being the animal guy.
Wait, does my move
Oh yeah,
give me
does your move add
This-
anything? Hold on.
it says +1 to prevail upon and gain insight about natural animals.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know. Okay.
So that
I mean,
that gives you.
is this a natural animal?
That's a very good question.
I can compare it to the natural animals, or use that as a base.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say that, you're thinking in terms of like a natural stag. And maybe it gives you some insight into stag behavior at this point.
Or
And don't ask me to be real
It's
about it because
more-
it's like I know nothing. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna fake something. So
Okay.
if you do well.
I mean,
It'll give us more than what we've got.
the way I phrased the question does sort of imply I was asking about normal stags. But go off.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 9.
Okay, all right. Well, of course, rolling a 9, get you the information, like, you're recalling stuff. Maybe you've taken some notes on your unnatural behavior per se. But you also receive a misfortune. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to say that you learn, or Sir Elio, from what you recall, yes, this this could be a good season, as they are trying to take shelter, especially for where this stag could be found. Following a trail and tracking as usual. Um, you can see prints in the snow, of course. So it might make it easier. You're not sure, though, whether this special stag will follow necessarily the same rules, being as it is, being somewhat magical. And I think something about the mission doesn't sit right with you. Do you know about Minister Vortimir and his general treatment of Ydelles?
Could you repeat the name?
Minister Vortimir, he is an advisor to Princess Elise.
Do you want me to make up
He's on my
something?
sheet.
He's okay.
He's my enemy.
Oh, wow.
Maybe you don't know
Um,
his backstory for why he's
right,
against Dell,
right.
but maybe you've observed
Yeah.
some very sus
I
behavior from
I
Vortimir.
I think like yeah, I think what we may have seen like the information I put in there, I
Mhm.
don't think that Idel knows that information necessarily. They're just how when you meet someone you just kind of don't have good chemistry. I think it's been bad with this
Mhm.
minister, and Idel
Yeah,
doesn't quite understand why, but doesn't feel like it's like he has the station to inquire about it.
right. And neither does Sir Elio, but I think I'm going to give this one this bit to you because it's going to complicate possibly what you think about this. Is that, Sir Elio, I think you have observed Sir Vortimir's behavior to Ydelles, and you all came up, you all had the same training. Why, out of all of you, was Ydelles not knighted? Especially as you each have done so well, respectively. Why not him?
Well, so I'll say, um, was the minister involved in this quest at all? You know?
He was present and when the quest was offered. So that's what I would know in character. Like yeah, he was there with if you say like who was all there, you would name the princess, the minister, and probably a few other court, like a herald or archivist or something. And a couple like royal guards. Um, so like the minister was definitely present at this occasion. Out of character, I feel like the minister might be plotting my demise in some way or inconveniencing me.
Well, it is it's really a quest worthy of a knighthood. So we shall do our best and hope that the path grants us spore to follow.
Thank you.
Okay.
When did you wish to leave?
As soon as we are able to, I want to avoid any ill weather. I can get the horses ready.
I'm gonna make that the complication. When you leave the tavern, whenever you decide to leave the tavern, I think you're going to start seeing the beginnings of some snowfall. It's very light at first, but I think those of you that are more naturally inclined, I think you smell the smell of snow in the air. Yeah. What preparations do you make? Like, even after seeing this, and like you knowing that you have to go on this quest. Were you given a deadline?
I'll leave that up to whoever, Mads, if you have an idea for that or not. My guess is that it needs, like, if I was seeing the other side of this, like the NPCs acting, I would say like there's some sort of ritual or something that they need this animal for,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So like if we lean into those tropes, then maybe they need to sacrifice the heart of this animal to do something, gain power,
Or they need to be led they need to be led to a ritual site.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something needs to happen in a timely manner.
Yes.
They need a golden antler for something.
Yep.
Oh, that could be a fun non-kill stag hunt. Hunting for the antlers that dropped off, or that will drop off.
What did she
when does that happen? I know it
violence.
happens. When does that happen?
Let's see something.
They get velvety in like the end of winter. I feel like
they grow their new antlers.
Yeah.
Antlers drop annually in late winter, typically January through March.
Perfect.
Because there's a drop in testosterone after the rut. Causes weakness in the connection tissue and the antlers fall off. I love it. Science. All right, great. So yeah. But did she specifically say she wanted the stag or the antlers?
I think they wanted the whole animal.
Mm-hmm.
Alive.
Brought back.
Right.
I didn't state that, so I guess we can assume that would be the preferred state. Yeah, let's go with alive.
Yeah.
I think that's more fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And harder. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you need this, let's say, in a week's time.
Yeah.
Because of travel and all that fun shit. So yes, you need to do this in a week's time. You don't have a whole shitload of opportunity to do anything, what's the word? Extensive for preparation. So tell me what you, after nursing your hangovers or what have you, what do you each do specifically to get ready for this trip?
First of all, what woods are we going to?
He's already got the woods over there. So he's got some rope and stuff and some tackle for the animal, plus he's getting the horses and like horse gear. I think he's like focusing on like the basics of travel and getting this animal, and he's asking the others to do other accommodations, whether it's rations or whatever. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is going to be a location. I just don't have a name for it.
You are going to the Rimwood Thicket.
Woo.
Would you say that this is the forest that your father's people have retired to, you know?
I'm gonna say that this is part of it. Like there's
Mm,
an edge that creeps up into like the hills and into the mountains
yeah,
that the forest still connects to. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, still within it's still within the environs of these mountains in the valley, near your love, essentially. So, there is the possibility of still communing with them. Um, but yes, you are going into the Rimwood Thicket, which is a bit far away, but yet close enough to be able to see about getting this stag, for sure. So, what are the other two providing to this
Wonderful.
trip? To get ready for this quest?
Um, can I say I know enough like plant lore that there is maybe like something we can use as bait that's also kind of like a sedative, a mild like sedative to keep it, you know, uh more compliant. Um,
Yeah.
Okay.
So the fumets of a hind and some kind of herb.
sure.
Okay. And Sir Granite, what are you bringing to this trip for the group and for yourself?
That is a good question. I think uh if Ydelles is taking care of the like greater the like, you know, all of the pack animals and such, then I think Granite is sort of going around collecting as much, not so much as many tails as possible. That'd probably be something that Sir Elio is doing. Although if Sir Elio is not doing that, then yeah, Sir Granite is sticking around in the tavern and just asking anyone who will listen. Have you any tales of the golden heart?
That sounds like you're trying to do a roll. Are you trying to gain more
I think
insight?
I'm gaining insight.
Okay. Yeah. So 2d6 plus wise, I believe.
+1.
Okay.
I gotta stop rolling things under my keyboard. That is a 6 +1 for a 7.
Okay. So that just makes it so, but you will have a misfortune. What shall I do for you? Hmm. Yeah, I think you gain the insight of some of these travelers. Of course, Windermere is at the crossroads, so of course you have travelers coming in and going out and all this kind of stuff. And I think one of the traveling merchants, possibly even the one who was trying to sell off some of those stones that you were being slightly critical or disdainful of earlier in the day, kind of looks at you and says, "What do you want to know about that stag for? I mean, that's a myth. That thing don't exist. If it existed, it's like everybody would be getting rich off of its fur and its antlers and all that. It's even said that its hooves are made of pure gold."
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Gold is too soft for hooves.
It's magic.
People always say this, like it means that it. Very well. You seem less than helpful for me, but thank you for your physical description, sir.
And he kind of like shakes his head and goes back to his cups. But I'm gonna say that give me a second. Misfortune.
Spills something on my nice polar bear cloak.
Well, if it's, I mean, like, I'm not going to be that mean to you because then that's the true misfortune. But I want to give you like some kind of complication with this thing.
I mean, it might just be that like nobody wants to talk about it. Everyone's a little bit afraid
Yeah,
for some reason.
yeah. I mean, aside from
Whisperings
the
of the giant folk, etc.
maybe, yeah, maybe, maybe that's what you end up hearing. Like maybe like some threads of some whispered conversation, looking fearful of it's a fool's errand. Too many things could go wrong. Too many things that could happen on the way of trying to find this mythical beast. Even if it is real, there are real dangers out there. Especially as it's winter. You can't see them coming. So yeah, the possible threat of obstacles in your way, giants and bears and whatever else they can think of that's actually out in the hills, rumored to be out in the mountains, or like towards the forests, basically. So yeah, I don't know about cursed if you touch it, cursed if you bring it back, cursed if you slay it, accidentally. Who the hell knows? But yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking Ydelles gotten all the preparations made, like for the logistical travel stuff, and you will have horses, Ydelle, like ready to go from wherever you all decided to meet up to leave town.
Great.
And the
So yeah, we
snow.
meet up. We have probably we probably have a quick drink and head out into the winter weather
Mm-hmm.
to get ahead of the storm.
Yes. Yeah, the snow's falling a little bit heavier now, but still visible. Still some visibility out here. I think maybe even Mistress Sarah will have some warm bundles for each of you. And yeah.
I'm gonna give her a nice kiss on the top of her head and thank her for her hospitality, and then be off. And promise that we'll be back.
Preferably with not with a broken arm or half a face.
She will she will give a smile to each of you. And when she gets to Sir Granit, she will just kind of clap her hand on one shoulder and then pat his cheek very gently with the other and say, "Come back with full face and all of your parts intact, yes?" And to the rest of you, she's going to say, "I heard what they were whispering about last night. don't mind them. They're just jealous that you're going out on a quest for something magical. Good luck. And come back, covering yourselves with glory.
I'll give her a nod.
Haha. Of
Have our
course.
horse rear up and head out.
Yep. And the camera watches you all like head out and leave. We will find a way to bring David's character into this, and then establish like how his character knows yours once he comes in next week. And then Rod, of course, we won't see you next week, but you know, we'll hopefully have everybody join in the week after, and then see how this quest goes. All right. I'm just going to end tonight a little bit earlier since we were like, you know, trying to set up a lot of different things. Still have questions, still have things that can totally be played out, and I think I want to reserve that stuff for the actual playing of the game. So we're going to end tonight with stars and wishes. Stars of things that you, well, I mean, again, in this case, it was more mechanical stuff, so anything that you enjoyed about the gameplay, I mean, the game as we worked it out itself. And then wishes are what you definitely want to see for next time, because you want to go ahead and start thinking about your dilemmas. Again, working in one for a fellow hero and one for at least one NPC, named in here or not. But I mean, like, again, it's got to be dilemmas that you can change at the beginning and end of every session, depending on, you know, if you have enacted them and such.
Is there a guideline for creating dilemmas or examples?
Not really. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up the dilemmas that I had when I played in David's game.
Is there something like from Hearts of Wulin that would provide some guidance?
There are
Yeah.
entanglements.
Well, entanglements are like the bonds and
different.
stuff. Yeah, like entanglements are like the bonds, like, you know, ways that you get tied in together.
Okay.
You know what? It's like, it's kind of like, I don't know if any of you have played it, and I've only barely played it so far, but Heart City Beneath, like there's a mechanic called story beats. I think that's what it's called.
Yes.
And it's like you have minor and major. These dilemmas could be anywhere from like minor or major, like, you know, so something that you think you can accomplish or deal with in the next session per se. Right? So I mean, if you want to change it in the beginning, that would be like something that you think you could hit. It's kind of like a dawn question a little bit, like in between, or the story beat thing in Heart. So I mean, again, something that you think you can hit or enact in that particular session, and then when you do it, when you possibly change it at the end, like what you think is possible. Like maybe you've completed one dilemma, in which case now you got to deal with it changed in some way, or like completely change it because like now you got to deal with something else that came up, you know? So stuff like that. It's really hard to say what could be guidance. I can't find the the other character sheet that I had because it's not listed here. But I mean, stuff like dealing with so-and-so's love for me, or finding out who is behind the heart poison for this particular character that I give a shit about. You know what I mean? Like, you know, things that could be very specific, or things that could be like, oh crap, I got to deal with this now. What? Yeah. So think on it. I mean, like, you know, you can totally add to them in the beginning of the session when you come back, and then again change them at the end. All right. So yeah, anything that you enjoyed and anything that you definitely want to see for next time, or next time that you're here in Rod's case.
Um, so for me, stars all around. Mads, thanks for picking up this game and sharing it. And I think we've got an interesting setting that we're exploring, some fun characters, and I can't wait to really dig into that more. And so thank you. So star to Sir Granit for bringing in the both kind of like some levity and also like some like persnickety. Like I love that scene that you had with the like talking to that guy about how things work and so forth. And then star to Rod for like being this sort of, at least right now, a very stable and foundational character from my character to lean on in this sort of weird situation. And yeah, I'm just enjoying what we're creating and can't wait to see it. For wish for me, probably a little bit of nightly action. By that I mean like us versus the environment, maybe some bandits or some other sort of like actiony stuff. Maybe a little bit of supernatural, so we can our friends interact with that. So yeah, looking forward to whatever happens.
Awesome.
Yeah, I thank you for setting this up, and to both of you co-players to create for creating interesting characters. I'm curious to see how this progresses. Yeah, but I already see the beginnings of of the personality. And I'm sorry, my cat is meowing at me and biting me and scratching me. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to, and also to learning my own character a little better. I'm curious to see. I don't know. I'm leaving it open to see what kind of adventure this turns out to be. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, stars to everybody for all of our like great little world building details. I love how quickly we sort of, or how willing you all are to like play around and settle into a vibe. And wish wise, I want to explore how these bonds work. This is probably the steepest departure from Hearts of Wulin. And I'm really curious because this is completely different.
It's definitely a different vibe for sure, for obvious reasons. But I love the character creation because these are unique people that I just have so many questions about. And it's hard for me because it's like I'm trying to figure out which questions I want to ask first or see enacted in play. So that's my wish, trying to figure out like how to not maneuver you, but I mean like, kind of get you all into a position to enact your either your characters, like make them progress in their own particular arcs, get them to use a move or two, like whatever seems appropriate for what's going on. But again, we were just doing a hell of a lot of setup, which is fine. Although I feel like I just wanted to get more and more and then try to lay it all out even before we got started, which I know is not cool either. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. And then we have to bring in David's character, which is going to be even more fun because, I mean, then I'm like not only bringing them into the journey, but also like figuring out how they interact with all of you. Yes. Bond wise. And then dilemmas. I mean, like I know, well, dilemmas are dilemmas. So why your bonds. I think that's the key to creating the dilemmas, yeah? Explain why your bonds cause problems for you. So you take two of those things and see and explain in the dilemmas how this is causing you problems. Like whether we start the next session in the journey and you all contemplating, oh shit, I gotta wait, this happened and I'm remembering something that interacting with so and so and such and oh shit, I left that unfinished. Stuff like that. And then we'll bring in David's character and see how we can mess it up even further. Absolutely. For sure. So, any general like mechanical questions? Because again, I think David R really laid this out very well in terms of, hey, like all of the moves per se are not only hoverable, like you can see it pop up, but it'll automatically take you to that point of the rules section. So this way you can reference it quickly and being able to see what this particular move can encompass or maybe give you leeway to do, which is great. Yeah, the most complicated stuff is the battle move, where it's like depends on the NPC's level versus you, like what you're fighting and that sort of thing. And then everything else is fairly self-explanatory. I mean, we'll just play to find out how much trouble you guys get into. That's basically what the point is. So, yeah, any questions about the gameplay or anything further about the scenario that you guys have just recently set up?
Oh.
Okay. Alrighty. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you very much for joining me at this table, and I look forward to seeing whomever's here next time and then adding David to the mix as well. All right. Rod, you have a great couple of weeks, and then we'll see you after when you come back. Okay? Thanks,
Take care.
guys.
You're
Take
welcome.
care.